Allison Bogley is on the call as well, who you'll also be working with here at the Lakers. And we have a bunch of our regular covering media that are anxious to get started. So we'll go ahead and get started. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Recording in progress.
We'll go ahead and get started with Kyle Goon.
Hey, Melo. Welcome to the Lakers.
Thank you, Kyle. How you doing?
I'm great, man. I thought I'd just start out by asking, there's been a lot of opportunities, or, well, I guess a lot of speculation that you and LeBron might one day play together on the same team. What made now the right time to team up with the Lakers?
I think timing is everything. I mean, for years we've always laughed about it and spoke about it, what it would be like. We had a little bit of, experience with the USA basketball and playing together, but that's totally different than in a situation like this. But we've always talked about it, laughed and joked about it. But I thought and he thought at this moment now, everything comes back full circle for us, and I think the time is now for us to be on the same team. It couldn't have came at a better time.
Jim Hill. Jim. Okay, let's go with Dave McManaman.
Melo, how you been?
What's up, Dave? Good to see you.
Good to see you too. You're 37. LeBron's going to turn 37 in December.
We don't care.
Dwight's up there. Trevor's up there. Mark Gasol's up there.
Don't care. We make our own narrative.
We'll try again soon.
So, well, obviously, like when you came into the league back in 2003, there weren't a lot of 37-year-olds with this level of productivity. What allows this group, or what will allow this group to have success?
Different time, different game, different style of game, more resources than guys had years ago when we first came into the game. I think just the concept and the seriousness behind taking care of yourself, like we really understand what that means from a holistic standpoint. The mind, body, and soul. Like we are there at that point of our career where, we understand the importance of what it means to take care of your body, what it means to take care of your mind. And in this situation, experience comes into play. Understanding one another, whereas if we'd have probably played, if all of us would have came together early on in our career, we probably wouldn't have had the same understanding as we're going to have right now. I think we're all, ready to just take on whatever role that is that all of us need to do and need to take on in order to reach that ultimate goal, which we all know what that is at this point. But I like it. I like when people talk about the age. It gives a better story. I'll tell you that it gives a better story. And I think people forget at the end of the day, it's about basketball. You got to know how to play basketball. You got to know how to do it. You have to have that experience, and I think that's what we bring at this point in time. Our talent, our skill, but also our experience.
Bill Orm.
Hey, Melo, Bill Oram from The Athletic. Welcome. I'm curious, with all the many achievements in your career, how do you view a championship and maybe being kind of the one thing on your resume that you're still chasing? What does that represent to you, and what do you think of this opportunity to potentially get there?
Well, like I said, every year we all come into the season saying, okay, we want to win a championship. How hard it is to get there and to achieve that's on a whole nother level. That's extremely hard to accomplish that. I'm coming in with a championship in my mind. I think we all know that, this is the one thing that I'm missing, right? This is the one thing that it keeps me up at night. It motivates me because I don't have it, and I want that experience. I want to experience, what it's like in going through the ups and downs of a championship season with a team, right? The turmoil and how we come together when those things not going right. You know, the adversity, when adversity hit, you know, how are we going to come together even tighter? How are we going to have each other's back? How are we going to support each other? Because the basketball part of it is going to take care of itself. You know, we have the talent. We just got to put it all together. And in order for us to put that together, we really got to have one common goal, and that's winning the championship. And I know that for a fact that the guys that we have on this year's roster, that's the ultimate goal. There's nothing less of that. That's the ultimate goal.
BT.
What's up, Carmelo Anthony?
How you doing, BT?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm trying to enjoy the rest of my summer, man. That's it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm just wondering, at what point in your career did you commit to coming off the bench, and how do you think that's going to play out on this team? I don't know if that'll be the case with the Lakers or not, but when did you commit to that role?
You know, I actually committed to it for the first time this year, like this past season with Portland, because, you know, when I first got to Portland, you know, I came in playing right away, and it wasn't my role was explained to me from the door. You're coming in, you're playing, you're starting, you're doing that. That role was explained to me. So I knew that role. The following year, past season, you know, coming into the season, we had the conversation, look, this is what we think is gonna, you know, is best for the team. Listen, I'm cool. Just be transparent with me. I was cool with that decision. I've never done it before. You know, I've done it with USA before. I've done it, you know, briefly in Houston for a couple games, but I had to figure out a way how to motivate myself and keep myself going in a different position, in a different role. So you know, you're going for 16, 17 years and you're the guy on the team and you're the starter, and then all of a sudden somebody's like, listen, come off the bench. You know, that I had to swallow that ego, I had to swallow that pride, but I also had to use that ego and that pride to keep me on edge and keep me motivated. And that's, you know, I've accepted that. You know, it played out, you know, it played out well in Portland. Again, that was my first time doing it and experiencing that at that level. But I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was basketball. And I still was able to do my thing and play ball and have fun and have the love for the game again. So I don't know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I just know I'm prepared. Like, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to go play basketball. I know what's at stake here, and I'm totally locked.
Mark.
Hey, Melo, Mark Medina here, USA Today. Congratulations. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Likewise. And I know this was different circumstances, but what do you remember about the Lakers free agency pitch meeting in 2014, and what sort of dialogue relationship did you keep with the franchise since then?
Well, I mean, every year, as you know, so much movement in the NBA. Like, nobody knows what's going to happen. You know, it's always one player is always connected with one organization somewhere or the other, whether they're there or not. And it seemed like just throughout my whole career, I've always been connected with the Lakers some way, somehow. You know, whether it was through, you know, my brother Kobe, regardless of what it is, I've always been connected to it some way, somehow. So, you know, it wasn't really no pitch this time. You know, I think it was just more of an understanding. Like, okay, the time is now. The time is now for both parties to merge and both parties to meet and come together. And let's put this thing together. There's a lot of understanding on my behalf. There's a lot of understanding on the Lakers' behalf, you know, an organization. You know, transparency is key for me. Honesty, communication is major for me. So, you know, once they reached out, you know, I was with Bron a couple of times, and I'm sure everybody thought we was talking about it, but we never had no conversation about it. You know, it's Bron came to me one time and just said that, yo, the time is now. Like, I want you. We got to make this happen. And, you know, I took that information and took that, you know, that dialogue and took my time with it and, you know, weighed all the options that I was weighing at that time. And, you know, I just felt like for right now, I think this was the best time for us. I mean, most people would say we should have got together years ago or early in our career, but we was in two different lanes. We was in two different paths. We was on two different paths. And, you know, everything come full circle, I'll say.
All right, so we have time for just maybe three more. So we're going to try for Jim again.
Carmelo, how are you, man?
I'm doing good, Jim. The palm trees got you, Jim. The palm trees got you.
The phone freeze has me?
The palm trees, not the phone.
Oh, the palm trees. Oh, you haven't lost your sense of humor at all.
Never.
The question I have for you is, you've always been used to being the man. How did you put your ego in check instead of having your ego check you?
That's a great question. You just got to do it, man. You got to understand your surroundings. You got to understand the situation that you're in. And a lot of times it's not always going to be about you. And some things are just not in your control at times. And, you know, a lot of the situations that I've been in, it wasn't in my control. You know, I was always like, you know, playing catch up in the situation that I was in. So now I'm able to kind of get this decision out the way. I'm cool now. I don't have to worry about where I'm going and what training camp I'm going to be in, what type of workouts I have to do. Like, I'm smooth sailing now. I can enjoy the rest of my summers, prepare for the season. And I don't have that much stress that I had going into the last couple seasons of not knowing what my situation was going to be. So this was the easy one. We got it out the way. Egos is checked. You know, my ego been checked because I understand it. It's all about having perspective on your situation. And again, a lot of things in this league and in sports, it's not in our control. You know, so we gotta control what we can control, and I've learned that over the years.
Okay, and our last two, we'll go with Rachel.
Hey, Melo.
What's up, Rachel?
One of the things that was so great about you this past season was just watching you have fun on the court. Like, you could see it, right? What are the parts of the game that at that point in your career, in that season, that year, that now you're in, my God, you're 18 of this, that you can bring to this season that are just going to be fun and you think that are really going to make you love the game the way you do?
Well, you got to kick me out again for me not to love the game, right? So you got to take me away from the game for me not to love the game. And I think now I've found a new love, a new joy for the game. Being away from the game for a year and some change, being able to come back and still, you know, play basketball and enjoy it and play at a high level, that keeps me motivated. That's what keeps me close to the game. And also now understanding what's at stake, what the opportunity that I have and that we have right now to go win a championship. I mean, it all got to come together. You know, people forget that it's a long season, but I'm excited about it. We're excited about it. You know, I'm bringing that love and that joy, you know, to the game, to LA. I'm gonna always love it as long as I'm playing the game. And I got guys that's around me now that actually love the game, you know, as just as much as me, and who's won before. So even though I'm gonna be there and I'm the, you know, the elder statesman on the team, and you know I'm mentoring and I'm teaching, I'm still learning at the same time. So I'm getting both. I'm getting the best of both worlds. I teach and I learn at the same time.
All right, and our last question is Joe Reedy.
Hey, Carmelo, welcome to LA. Just wondering, with a group with this many accomplishments and everything, what do you think it's going to be like playing with this group for 6-7 months at a time instead of an Olympic situation where, you know, it's limited to 1 or 2 months?
I'm more excited about, you know, the journey of this season. Not so much of getting on the court in the game, because we're gonna win games. I mean, we have to win games. Let's just be quite frank. We have to win games. But I think everything else that comes along with that, you know, the journey and learning these guys, you know, a little bit more, and seeing the work ethic and being in the locker room and on the team bus and on the team plane, and, you know, building a bond and camaraderie to the point where it's like nothing will affect us. Anything on the outside world cannot affect us. And I think for me, that's the most important part that I'm looking forward to. Again, the basketball part will take care of itself. I'm not worried about the basketball part. It's how we all come together, how we gel together, how we support one another. When it's always sunny, it's cool, you know, but when it starts raining, then what happens? You know, how do we come together? How do we keep our locker room together? How do we keep the young guys engaged in what's going on when we losing games, or we lost a couple games, or we dropped some games to some teams that we wasn't supposed to? What happens then? That's where the expertise and the experience comes into play. So I'm excited. I'm excited about that part of it.
All right. Well, this concludes the interview for today.